down to the yellow bar here, you click on label, it comes up labeled. Okay, so this is posterior, because that's the spinous process. This is anterior. There's our gray matter in the middle. So, anterior commissure, posterior commissure. Leaving the dorsal horn, the posterior horn, is your dorsal root. And if you look at the spinal cord model, you'll see that there's like little yellow wires. It's not just like one structure that leaves, there's like all these little teeny wires that merge together. You don't have to know it, but this won't make sense. Those little tiny things are rootlets. Okay? And then they form the posterior root. Posterior root or dorsal root comes here. It widens out there because that's where the nerve cell bodies are located. That's the dorsal root ganglion. Ganglion is just a collection of nerve cell bodies outside of the CNS. Coming from that anterior horn is your anterior root. Okay? They come down here, and right here is the merge. The spinal nerve is at this merge right here. So you only call it spinal nerve from here to here. Very quickly, you have this structure that branches off, called the dorsal ramus. When we talk about tracks Tuesday, we talk about autonomic. We'll talk about this system in a little more detail. So for the moment, dorsal ramus, and then if this is dorsal ramus, by convention, this continuation from here down is simply ventral ramus. It's your spinal nerve, essentially. But when you call spinal nerve, the spinal nerve is only from here to here, for exam purposes. Beyond that, you're either in ventral ramus or you go out there to dorsal ramus.
So on the other side, the spinal nerve is the gray part still? Right there?
Yep, right there is your spinal nerve. So it's after the dorsal root ganglion and before the dorsal ramus branches off. It's only that little short section. So for a lecture question, by definition, every spinal nerve is mixed because part of it is sensory and the other part is motor. That's why if you have a nerve problem, sometimes it'll just be sensory and you have like some numbing sensation, and then some, more so males, not as much females, they'll say, oh, I have some pain, some numbness, you know, but I can still golf. But eventually, if that nerve gets compressed, then you'll start affecting the motor part. That's when a guy comes in to a chiropractor or an orthopedist or, you know, a physical therapist because he can't golf. I got pain, but I can't walk the course anymore. Females take much better care of themselves. All right, so does that make sense?